Man, Mike, man. Yeah, I have not shaved. I ain't done shit. Um, I might let it grow out again. I don't know. But you guys, I want to get you guys. Obviously, this one of those. Let me play around with this. Play around with this a little bit. Play around. That's the first time I've done one of these without the background. So yeah. So yeah. Just gonna play around with it a little bit. Yeah. Whip it out. Whip it out. Yeah. Let me whip this out, y'all. See what this all about. Interesting. Well, I guess that's good enough. All right, so this is your boy Mad Mike coming at you guys with a impromptu uh is that a live show. So yeah, you are seeing right. I didn't even ask Sam and the crew if he was gonna go live. So forgive me, sir, for that. Um, but I actually had a question for everybody. So if you guys have can y'all see these messages at the top? Y'all can't see the message at like, I don't know. I don't think there's screencast. All right. So yeah, just work with me. This is the first time I've actually done this particular live like this. But this is a question that I actually had, man. When it come down to the Atlanta Falcons, because I actually had it. I was cutting up some videos and whatnot, and interesting. If you have not seen it on Facebook, you can follow Mad Mike Sports on Facebook. You can follow Mad Mike Sports Twitter or the Heavy Hitters, AFN and whatnot. And on Instagram. So I posted Sam's take on Raheem Morris as far as his defense is concerned. And, I wanted to kind of give a quick take on this. And the question was not so the question that I had, but more so the take is he said that Raheem Morris, everywhere he's been for the most part, the defensive unit. Christy, how you doing? He had a take, and he pretty much said the defensive unit for the Atlanta Falcons, everywhere he goes, the defensive unit always make strides, some positive strides. So I went back to 2016 and I looked at the sack numbers. 2016, I think we had 36 or 39 sacks. We had 36, 39, and 38. So he stayed around as far as the sack numbers is concerned. He kind of stayed dark. Gamer, what's good? Christy, how are you doing? Everybody in the chat. Yeah, you seeing right. I'm actually on screen this time, y'all. The sack numbers didn't necessarily jump, but they improved. Like they stayed around the same with Raheem Morris as far as the Atlanta Falcons concerned. But you go from Dreddy, what's good? You go from the Buccaneers when they had guys like again Adrian Claiborne, another one of those guys that came to the Atlanta Falcons, and he actually did pretty well. I think he had one of the year where Adrian Claiborne, Sonya, how you doing? He had a year where a game against the Dallas Cowboys where he had 6 sacks in a game, which was incredible. It was incredible for a couple of reasons, because I can't believe that you got your boy end up they allowed him to get 6 sacks. I mean, after the motherfucker had 3 sacks, you should have saw a double teaming or making some. But the Dallas Cowboys did Dallas Cowboy things, and they kept They're just loud. So, um, Raheem Morris, he helped develop, or he brought in guys like Michael Bennett, Adrian Claiborne. You look at Rashid Hageman. He was another one of those guys. You look at the defensive lineman that he typically likes. Um, so you know that he has a certain style of defensive players that he likes. So the question I have for you guys, I mean, even going to the Rams when he became the defense coordinator there, um, they defense improved. So everywhere that he's been, the defensive unit has always made strides. So the question I have, what do you guys expect for the Atlanta Falcons defense? Are you looking for more sacks? Are you looking for defensive linemen to be more well-rounded and well-versed? Do you expect the defensive backs? Now, we got guys like Jimmy Lake. We got Jimmy Lake as a guy. If you look at the style that he likes to attack, get after it. I told you guys his style of defense is similar to what the Chiefs do with Steve Spagnuolo. He uses a lot of DB. He uses a lot of DBs in his defense. They blitz, a lot of safeties, a lot of corners. Um, so it's going to be kind of interesting to see what this Atlanta Falcons defense and how they're going to put everything together. Um, and then you look at the corners like AJ Terrell. What's going to happen with AJ Terrell? How the Atlanta Falcons are going to improve, or how the Falcons are going to be. So that's the question I have for you guys. What are your expectations for um, Raheem Morris in this Atlanta Falcons defense? That's the question I have for you guys. Like I said, it won't be a particularly long uh, live because this goddamn sun is out. And look, I'm not built for the sun no more. I'm like these white folks. I burn easily. I shouldn't have said that, but I said it. Goddamn. Um, Offensively, when you look at the Atlanta Falcons and their quarterback position, this is another question I had. Dreddy says fast, strong, and no Diddy. Yeah, I'm glistening. Uh, Christy. But yeah, the quarterback position that I think that is really interesting for the Atlanta Falcons, and what I'm going to pay close attention to is Kirk Cousins and his ability to get guys out of certain looks. I thought last year with the Atlanta Falcons, when they saw certain defenses, they did not make the necessary moves, either coaching or the quarterback. I thought it would change when you got a guy like Taylor Heineke as far as being able to kind of move things around, him being able to see certain defenses. But I don't know if it was mandated from Arthur Smith when a call comes in. Um, you just have to go with the play. And oftentimes, I thought the Falcons did not call a lot of audibles. Um, they didn't make a lot of audibles, in my opinion. They didn't make a lot of changes in the offense. When they was in the look, they called the play, they ran the play. And I think for the most part, when you look at the quarterback position with Kirk Cousins, I think that's the most important thing. Excuse me for the train. I don't know why train decides they want to come here. We stay on the south side, so this is what we get. Um, the Atlanta Falcons, in my opinion, they have one of the most intelligent and smart quarterbacks. He reads, he knows what he says, he knows the defenses. He's pretty much seen every type of defense and every type of style, whether it's a team that blitzes heavy, a team that run the ball, or stop the run, and they use their front four to stop the run. And he seen defenses with great secondary. So he's seen every style of defense. So when you look at Kirk Cousins, these are the things that I'm going to be focused on. How quick can he get those guys in and out of certain looks? The audibles, can he, like I said, I actually did a live show too where I stated that if the Atlanta Falcons are going to, um, if the Atlanta Falcons are going to become a top five offense, because I think they have all the ability to be a top offense in this league. I really believe that they have the ability, the personnel to be like, even with the coaching staff. You got three quarterback guys. You got a guy like Zach Robinson who's still trying to find himself as an offensive play caller. This is going to be the first time he had full time duties as a play caller. Um, and then you look at the Atlanta Falcons um, offensively, the receivers. We brought in guys like Jeberaeel Mooney. We brought in guys. Obviously, we got Kyle Pitts back. He's healthy. Tyler Algier, and then you got Bijan Robinson. Another thing when you look at, and Christie actually says this, how well will the offensive line is my concern. I'm not worried about the offensive line at all. We got the best right guard in the league. We got one of the best left tackles in the league. And believe it or not, Drew Dalman is a top 3, top 5 center in the league. He's that good. So the Atlanta Falcons have a young guy in Matthew Bergeron. I think Bergeron is definitely going to be one of those guys that's going to make a massive, and if he makes a massive increase as far as his abilities and understanding what he needs to do now that he has a little bit more experience as the Atlanta Falcons left guard. If he continues to improve on his game and understanding what defensive linemen are doing, because he has the physical, he's a former hockey player, so this dude is tough. He's tough physically. I believe he's definitely going to be tough mentally, especially this year, understanding and getting understanding, because one of the hardest things for a young rookie a player is to try to find a way to get through that first year, because this is the first, and your as a rookie, typically after the 12th and 13th game, you start to see the decline, because in college, after that 12th and 13th game, the season is over. So you got a good 5 to 6 months games as a rookie. So him being able to get through that season pretty much unscathed, healthy for the most part, I think that's to be that's definitely something to look forward to as far as his concern, Matthew Bergeron. So now he knows how to get his body and get acclimated and get through the NFL season. I think he'll be good. So the Falcons are good in my opinion at left at guard. Enzo, you don't ask a man about his damn nails. What the hell wrong? Who asks another man about their nails? You sound like my damn sister. Come on, Enzo. Look, come on. You can't. This ain't a damn beauty pageant, okay? Cut your damn nails, man. Huh? All right, let me get back over. But again, you got one of the best left tackles in the game, and Jake Matthews. You got one of the better young left guards in the league, and Matthew Bergeron, who actually wanted the Dallas Cowboys wanted him. They end up, not getting him, but you got one of the best. This man up here talking another man about his nails. Like, all right, y'all. But yeah, we're talking about one of the better young centers in the games, and Drew Dalman, and then you got the best guard in the league. We're talking about Chris Lindstrom. This dude is going to be making about he's going to be making about $20 million this year. So it's like you got him, and then you got obviously one of the best right tackles in the league, and people don't understand that. Like he's a guy that as he actually took less money. I think if you go back to, I think it was a couple of years ago, 2021, I believe it was, when he got the contract offer from the Denver Broncos. I think he had yeah, whatever. Let me get back to it. Like, what did this dude? Yeah, that dude retarded. But you look at the Atlanta Falcons, and having one of the best right tackles in the league with Caleb McGarry. Um, he's definitely one of the better right tackles. So Jake Matthews, Matthew Bergeron, Drew Dahlman, like all those guys are definitely one of the best offense. So the Falcons offensive line is pretty much good. Like they cool. So um, I'm not worried about the Atlanta Falcons offense. I'm not worried about the running game. Tyler Algier, and then you have um, Bijan Robinson and another young guy in um, how you say his name? Jace McClellan. Is that how you say his name? McClellan. I think he's a guy. He's one of those guys that remind me of Devontae Freeman. A lot of people. He reminds me of Devontae Freeman, and just his ability to get um, to get to make guys miss. But he can hide behind the offensive lineman. He can hide behind um, you can hide behind the bigger the linebackers, because one thing about having a small, short uh, running back, you have these guys can, because this is what a guy like Barry Sanders. I think Barry Sanders like 5'8", 5'9", and not only with his ability to run, um, but this guy can shake. And Jace McClellan is one of those guys that I think is going to be, a pleasant surprise for the Atlanta Falcons. So you have three good running backs, and you add the offensive line. You got a guy like Storm Norton. Storm Norton is another guy. When you look at him, now he's a quality backup for the Atlanta Falcons. And then they have a guy like what's the backup center? Good God, what's his name? Ryan Newsel. Ryan Newsel is another guy that I think it's going to be interesting to see with the Atlanta Falcons. So we got grade in here. It says who that trash. What's going on? I ain't quite all there. Gotta roll my morning breakfast with these. What's up about whatever? Um, yeah, y'all just start throwing y'all questions in there if y'all got some questions also. Um, but yeah, that was kind of impromptu. Really just want to kind of like answer a few questions out there. Warren, what's good? Corey Gill, what's good? But yeah, like I said, I'm not worried about the Atlanta Falcons offensive line running game. I think they'll be fine. One of the things that I am kind of, I wouldn't necessarily say concerned, but I'm going to keep a close eye on, because Grady Jarrett, David Onyemata, if those guys can, uh, especially David Onyemata. I don't think a lot of people are paying too much attention paying too much attention to David Onyemata. David Onyemata, one of those complete, well-rounded defensive tackles. I know you New Orleans Saints know about him. So his ability to stop the run, but he can get a couple sacks here and there also. So David Onyemata is the guy I'm going to keep a close eye on. You have Grady Jarrett coming back from the torn ACL. He's going to be a major. He's going to be a major concern, or I'm gonna say a question, but it's a guy that I'm gonna keep a close eye on. Grady Jarrett. Then the linebackers, we already kind of did that with the heavy hitters, where we went to um, we went through Nate Landman, J.D. Bertrand, Caden Ellis, and Troy Anderson. And a lot of people are looking forward to seeing what happened to how he's going to rebound from the injury last year, the torn pectoral. So I think it's with tricep. It was one of them, but yeah, how he's going to rebound from that. So linebackers is I'm cool with, but I think the biggest concern as far as the secondary is my take. It's probably not what you guys are focused on. Probably everybody's like, all right, can Clark Phillips be that guy? We know what AJ Terrell is. We know what Jesse Bates is. For me, I think a guy to keep a really close eye on is not only but DeMarco Hillams, but I think the biggest guy you're looking at right now is a cornerback. Is a cornerback. That cornerback. Anybody want to take a wild guess of who that cornerback is that you can keep a close eye on? That guy's Alford. D. Alford is a guy that I think I love. If he can stay healthy like last year, man, I think he'll be a damn good. I think he'll be a damn good corner, and he'll be a pleasant surprise because you look at what the Falcons need. This guy has the ability not only to be a returner, but this guy has the ability to also um, to play that slot position. The slot position for the Atlanta Falcons, I believe, is wide open, along with a guy like Richie Grant. Now, I think Richie Grant is another one of those guys you got to keep a close eye on as far as that's concerned. Um, but yeah, D. Offer for me, man. I think he's gonna really make or break that secondary for the Atlanta Falcons. Because like I said, if he can continue to improve, and I'm hearing good things. The K to D was good. Old Chicken Holler. What's going on? But I think if D. Alford can improve, man, the Falcons can do so many different things. Because if you look at um, Clark Phillips, he has the ability to not only play outside, but this guy is very good. He's very good in playing inside and being a playmaker and a ball hawk. You can put him anywhere and he'll make plays on the ball. So I really want Clark Phillips to kind of be one of those guys that we move around um, just to find the right spot. But yeah, D. Alford is one of those guys. Um, Falcon fan, but yeah, I believe Clark Phillips will hold down that second QB cornerback position. Think he'll be good. Christopher Wright, what's happening? Jonta Rozier, how many tight ends, wide receivers? We're gonna have more wide receivers than tight ends. Don't expect this. Don't expect this team to be like Arthur Smith, where we had 15 goddamn tight ends. I don't expect that. But we're going to see a lot more wide receivers in this offense and a lot more wide receiver play and a lot of 21 personnel for the Atlanta Falcons, a lot of 3 to 4 wide receiver sets. You're going to see a lot of that. So what do you think about Eddie Goldman? He'll get his reps. He's going to be one of those guys that come along slowly. We got to actually make it to the damn season with Eddie Goldman. But from what I understand, he's ready. He has some personal issues as far as, his retirement is concerned. So hopefully he's back. I don't know what the hell. We got these damn Hawks out here. We got a lot of Hawks out here, y'all. But um, Eddie Goldman with his retirement, I think he'll be back. He'll finally make it through preseason. But he's another one of those guys. This dude is a stud in the middle. He can stop the run. That's what he excels at. So the Atlanta Falcons need to play one of these teams where they are, um, very good at stopping the run and whatnot. Um, are they good at running the ball? Eddie Goldman is the guy that you go to stop the run and use in your base sets and goal line situations. Eddie Goldman is definitely that. So we can get him back to form where he was previously with the Chicago Bears, man. I think the Falcons will be fine. Do you think? No, no. Jake Matthews' successor is not even on the team right now, so don't worry about Jake. Jake Matthews will be good for a while. He'll be here for at least 2 to 3 more years. So uh, his successor, in my opinion, is not on this team right now. Are you keeping Fitzpatrick? Um, I don't know, man. I don't know because I think the Falcons are going to use their wide receivers a lot more. So he's a bubble guy in my opinion. I don't think he's hanging on just like guys like Charlie Warner. Believe it or not, Charlie Warner. I think he'll be here, but Fitzpatrick is definitely on the outside looking in. He's in. He got one foot in the door, but it's not a sure thing in my opinion with Fitzpatrick. What do you think about the Philadelphia Eagles? What's going on, Jay Reels? If you're still here, sorry about that. But um, I actually kind of made a video about this um, with the quarterback. So if you guys haven't seen that short, um, where I talked about Jalen Hurts, um, the question that I had is, can he prove that he is an MVP caliber quarterback? Is he a quarterback um, that can return to form? Because last year, with a lot of injuries, and then you have you know, Jason Kelsey who retired. This offensive line for the Eagles are not going to be the same. That dude Kelsey is the heart and soul of that Philadelphia Eagles offense, and this is where we're going to see if Jalen Hurts is truly the leader of that team, because he was the eyes and the ears. He was the eyes for the Atlanta Falcons, but the Philadelphia Eagles offense. Kelsey was. So when you don't have the guy that was your eyes and be able to see everything and make the right calls up front, this is where you're going to need your quarterback to step up. So I want to see what Jalen Hurts and how he's going to rebound from losing one of the better centers in the history the league has ever seen. You brought in Barkley, running back, the running game as far as is concerned. So the running game, if he can stay healthy, the running game for the Eagles would definitely improve. Obviously, you brought AJ in, and or AJ, you gave AJ big time money. He's going to make somewhere between $32 million. So he should be happy. He should be happy. AJ should be, and then obviously you got the other speed receiver there in Smith. So the offense for the Eagles are going to be cool. I don't think there's going to be an issue with the Eagles offense, but the offensive line is definitely going to be something to watch. Defensively, you lost guy like Hassan Reddick. You brought in, you have two guys, and Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter. Both of those guys are big. Or they're going to make a step forward as far as their ability to get after the quarterback and play consistently. Because they're going to definitely. You got a ton of guys from Georgia still on that defensive line. that you're gonna on the defense that you kind of keep. So the defensive line, the linebacker for the Eagles is something that is going to be something to keep a close eye on. But I think the Eagles, man, to be the most, to be honest, I think they're gonna win the division. I think the Cowboys are just gonna suck. That's my opinion. Um, and they're gonna have the Cowboys are gonna make it have to transition away from Dan Quinn and his style. So they lost a lot of players. Dallas Cowboy did. So I expect the Philadelphia Eagles to actually win the division. Um, Georgia Texas boy was good. Yeah, old chicken heart. Like I said, I believe the Eagles will take a small step back. Um, Offensively, I think the quarterback position, if they want to salvage your boy Jalen Hurts and kind of help him get to his form from the previous year, the Super Bowl year, they have to run the ball. They have to run the ball. But the thing is with that, I don't know if their offensive line is going to be the same without Kelsey, man. I don't think their offensive line is going to be the same without Kelsey. That dude is an absolute stud. He's a legend, and like I said, I don't know how their offensive line is going to be the same. I really don't. Yeah, and like I said, they lost a lot of guys on Chicken Hollow. They lost a lot of guys on that. So yeah, JD was good. You guys don't have any more questions? Like I said, yeah, they lost two. So the Philadelphia Eagles is a team I'm not concerned about, to be honest, as far as them making a big, uh, them making a huge run as far as the Super Bowl is concerned. I don't think they'll be a big time Super Bowl contender. I do not believe, and this is another question also. So if you guys did not see that short on the quarterbacks, NFL quarterbacks that I expect, um, to keep a close eye on, is actually Brock Purdy. A lot of people talking about Brock Purdy. He's arrived and he is that guy. I just don't see it. Um, and I kind of went over it with the wide receiver conversation yesterday with Brandon Ayuk. I just think a lot of those guys, uh, I think they benefit from Kyle Shanahan's scheme, his running game. They always have a great running game. They always have a great running game, but they always have good play action. They great in the red zone, and I think the quarterback benefits for having that. So my thing is, when you don't have a good running game, and another thing about that San Francisco 49ers team is that they have always have great defenses. They lost a lot of pieces on the defense side of the ball. They brought in some guys, but they lost some guys up front. So is that 49er defense going to be the same that we saw last year? That's the question. And the reason why this is significant for me is that Brock Purdy, is he really that damn good? I don't know. Because if you look, everybody knows that a running game in the offensive line is a quarterback's best friend. A great play caller that Kyle Shanahan is. He just does a lot of dumb shit in big time moments. But if that running game isn't good, how great is Brock Purdy? That's my thing. I don't know if he is the real deal. So he's another one of those guys. So there's a question with the 49ers. I don't know if they're going to be the same team. But I think a team to kind of keep a close eye on. I think the Giants may be a team that you have to keep a close eye on. I really believe they can get consistent play out of their offensive line. and a quarterback position, I believe the Giants are a team to keep a close eye on. I'm not saying they're going to be, a championship contender, but they made some pretty good moves on the offensive side of the ball to help get them weapons and get guys. Yeah, they lost Barkley, but they brought in a couple of weapons on the offensive side of the ball. So the Giants are a team to keep a close eye on. All right, to keep a close eye on. They always have a damn good defense. So Fly Eagles Fly was good. In the NFC, we're just talking about the NFC right now. That's a team to keep a close eye on. Is the Giants? If they can get anything out of their freaking quarterback, they'll be a team to keep a close eye on. It's interesting that Fly Eagles Fly come in and say something about the Texans. Um, the Texans is another team to keep an eye. I don't think they is as good as they that a lot of people think they are. See, now you're getting into the true testament and the true. Um, this is where the head coach he's going to have to exert himself, and this is where the true. Uh, this is where coaches make their money. They're gonna make their they. This is because you got a young quarterback. He's trying to prove that he belongs. And last year wasn't a fluke. And then you got the defense side of the ball. That these guys, I think the defense is going to continue to improve. But you got the wide receivers, Nico Collins. You brought in um, Diggs, and you got Tank Dell. Can those guys continue to stay healthy? I think the Texans is a team that you keep a close eye on offensively. Or these guys going to continue to be the same. They're going to put up the same numbers. If CJ Stroud is he the real deal? Can he have a repeat of what he had last season? Because in the playoffs, he did not look great. He looked like a young quarterback. Can he expand on what he had last year? That's another thing. So if CJ Stroud continues to impress and be the quarterback that we all think that he is, the Texans will be another team that you see that's going to contend with the Chiefs. The Chiefs, in my opinion, is another team. Like, they got a lot of off the field issues. They're going for a three-peat. They're trying to go for a three-peat. You got the Chiefs, man. Defensively, they brought in a couple of guys, but I think the Texans is a team to keep a close eye on. I don't know if they ready to contend because, like I said, you got a young quarterback. As much as I was impressed with CJ Stroud last year, I don't know if he's the real deal. I always tell people here on my channel that it's like you got to give me 3 to 4 years of consistency before I label you a top five quarterback. I put everybody after your fourth year, if you still putting up the same numbers, you doing the same thing. Um, if you're doing the same thing, then you legit. CJ Stroud did not look good in the playoffs. We can sit up here and say what he looked like during the regular season, but he did not look good in the playoffs. He did not perform. He was inconsistent. Guys got after him, and this is where the best of the best comes. And they got film on him. They got film on him. They got film on they got film on the offense. They got film on the entire. And another thing too, the offensive line for the Texans played a lot better than what we expected. That we expect last year. Last year also. So when you look at the Texans, man, can they continue to be to show what they did and improve on what they did last year? So the Texans is another team. Panthers, what's up? Panthers fans up in here. Moises, what's good? Now, man, I just saw it. It is good luck with Atlanta Falcons. Weird draft. Yeah, what's going, Moises? Yeah, it was a weird draft. Everybody who saw my reaction to it was like, yeah, yeah. I think everybody had that same reaction to the Falcons draft. So we'll see what happens, man. It's going to be a weird year altogether in the NFL. The Titans or a team, I don't know. The Titans, I don't know about the Titans. It's interesting. Obviously you brought in Ridley. I think he'll help that offense, but Will Levis, can he showcase his skill level, or can he be that quarterback that the Titans want to be? So there's a question with him, but offensively they look good. The Titans do. So there's another team that I'm gonna kind of keep a close eye on. Also, Millie Mills was good, but yeah, the defense for the Titans. I think they're gonna if they stay healthy up front. That defense is always gonna be pretty good. Um, they let they I think they released was it Simmons? They released. Um, yeah, but the Titans is another one of those teams. The Panthers. Um, I'm look. I'm giving my unbiased opinion about the Panthers. Um, I think everything starts with the quarterback for this team. Um, you lost Burns, and Burns is going to be with the Giants, and that's why I say you got to watch out for the Giants because they always have good defenses. If they get anything out of offense, I think the Giants could be a team that that's gonna could be I don't know about contender, but they could surprise a lot of people and how good they are. Um, but I think the Panthers they're going to be as good as your boy Bryce takes them. I do believe if you use him, I wouldn't necessarily say a, RPO style of team, um, but he needs to be in the offense where it's spread, and they use their running backs more so out of the out of the game, out of the backfield. Spread teams out because if you spread teams out, I don't think you know um, they'll be able to kind of keep him bottled up inside the pocket for whatever reason. For just my opinion and what I look at but Bryce Young, um, he plays better when he's spread out. Even going back to the University of Alabama. When he spread out, they run a lot of RPO. They use a lot of spread concepts, get the ball out of his hand quickly, where he can kind of move around, make quick decisions. He's better. So they got to improve wide receivers. They got guys like to get. So these guys are fast. They improve. Marshall, all those guys. So I think their wide receivers will be pretty good. But the running game, if they get anything out of their running game, and they offensive line. That's the biggest thing with the offensive line with the Panthers. They get consistent, or they improve with their offensive line. I think the Panthers will be good, but I think they're going to take a step back defensively, not having Brian Burns there. But yeah, I like offensively. There's going to be that team is going to be as good as they go offensively. Washington, man. Um, Washington is going to take a step back. They're going to take a step back defensively, obviously because they lost their two edge guys. But they brought in some guys. You just still got Allen. They're two big defensive tackles in the middle, so I think they'll be fine there. As far as the defensive tackles is concerned, but if they can get edge help, consistent edge help offensively, Jaden, um, Jaden Daniels, um, if they can get him to kind of have one of those years like a CJ Stroud, I think that's a team to be, because obviously he had wide receivers. So if he can create a chemistry with his receivers, they can run the ball a little bit better than what they did, because they run game last year was absolute trash. They came on a little bit better as far as the running game. They were a little bit better, but now you'll be able to combine it with the Robinson, the running back. Not Robinson. I forget the running back for Washington, but if you combine that Jaden Daniels with the running game, you use him, kind of how like the Bears use Justin Fields. Use him a little bit more. In the running game, run those RPOs and whatnot. Because Jaden Daniels, this dude, he's going to run, and he's going to use his legs. So Washington, I don't think they're going to be good, but it's a team to kind of keep a close eye on. They're going to improve defensively. Dan Quinn, he hasn't really played. He really hasn't had big defensive tackles in his defense. So it's going to be interesting to see what he does with that defensive line for the Washington Commanders. So it definitely close eye on. But I like the Washington wide receivers for sure. Do you think Baker Mayfield is going to be as good? Nah, I don't. I don't think I don't think he'll be as good. I just don't. I'm not sold on Baker, man. Baker just had one good year, to be honest. Now he was good, but the thing is he as good as is he as good without Mike Evans? That's the thing. Rashard, the running back, I think he'll be pretty good. They have a pretty good running game. The offensive line for them, but I really don't see. I just don't see anything. Like, he was solid. He's definitely solid, but without Mike Evans, is he really that good? So Baker Mayfield is definitely a good quarterback. I'm not saying he's got a good quarterback, but I don't think he'll have one of those repeat seasons like he had last year. Like, Mike Evans is gonna do Mike Evans things, but I don't think Baker is as good as he is. Eckler is okay. Eckler is in Washington. I forget who was in Washington. Thank you, Southside. So yeah, I mean, the offense is definitely going to improve for Washington, but I just don't think the defense is going to be as good as they were previously. So, because it's going to be a transition. Because, like I said, Dan Quinn has never really used big defensive tackles the way he's done. So we'll see there. Elijah go, what record you think we're going to get this year? Rank do you think the offense? I think the Falcons are anywhere. If you're referring to the Falcons, I think the Falcons are going to be anywhere from 10 to 13 games. I think they can win about 12 to 13 games. In my opinion, the 10 to 13 games, because you get a healthy Kirk Cousins, man. With our offense, we have our offense, and Kyle Pitts. We did not, use him to the full capability of his abilities, and injuries played a part in that. And then you have Tyler Algier. I don't think we use him completely. He wasn't as effective as he could have been, and he got Bijan Robinson. I think Bijan Robinson is a stud. So you have that offensive line. Offensive line stay healthy for the most part. You got a guy like Kirk Cousins, man, who can make the right calls, make the right decisions, and when he's healthy, he's one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL. He's a top 5 quarterback when healthy, without a doubt. So you look at that, man, and then you look at the improvements that we made on the defense side of the ball. You're getting Grady Jeberaeel, you're getting a healthy David Onyemata. You brought in a young guy like Braylon Trice, and you got Caden Ellis, who's, In certain situations, he's going to see edge help, and he got Honor Ebiketie. He coming back, a year older with much experience. You got Lorenzo Carter. Look, the Falcons, man, they're going to be a very good team. So, anyway, in my opinion, anywhere from 10 to about 13 games, this Atlanta Falcons are going to be is going to win. And yeah, that's another thing too. They lost their offensive coordinator. Casey Washington is another one, Chris. They to keep a close eye on too. Man, that dude can run some freaking routes, and he's making a lot of plays there also. Keith, no sweat. What's good on? What's going on? But yeah, man. Like I said before, um, the Atlanta Falcons are a team to keep a close eye on. I think they're going to be a Super Bowl contender. And yes, I said Super Bowl contender, especially with Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts returning for him. The Falcons definitely going to be a Super Bowl contender. I think the defense is going to be fine. And like I said, our running backs stay healthy. This team is going to be special. I don't know if the Eagles are going to be a Super Bowl contender, but they're going to be a team to be reckoned with in the NFC. I think the 49ers, you obviously got to put those guys in, but the Atlanta Falcons, the 49ers, the Eagles, I think the Giants, a lot of people ain't paying attention to them. You got to keep a close eye on them. I don't think they'll be contenders, but you got to keep a close eye on them. I mean, an interesting team probably the Bears. Because if they get some quality quarterback play from Caleb, man, I think they'll be a pretty good team. Also, the Green Bay Packers is another team. Is Jordan Love the real deal? That's another thing, because he had a good year last year. The Packers always have great defenses. They always have good defenses. If Jordan Love can continue, like the Packers could be one of those teams, man. The Lions, you keep an eye on them, but the Lions, man, it's going to be interesting. They gave the quarterback a bunch of money. They gave the wide receiver a bunch of money. They gave the offensive lineman a bunch of money. And I don't know. When you start paying all the offensive guys the way they paying, that way they paying them, man, oof. A lot of these guys started to get egos. They started to like feel themselves. So are they going to abandon the run? Because if you look at the Lions, man, they were as good as that offensive line and that running game. So this is just a bold statement, a hot take, but are these guys as good as they really were last year? That's the thing. Don't abandon the run. In my opinion, do not abandon the run, the Lions. And like I said, once you start seeing success like that, you got to pay, what's his name? Amon St. James, like whatever the hell his name is. I forget the wide receiver name, but I always get his name messed up. But you end up paying him, a lot of money. Quarterback, teams like that abandon the run and, focus on the quarterback and throwing the ball. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with the Lions. Are they going to, because those teams, they but the coach, he likes to, take chances. Is he going to continue to be that same aggressive coach? That's another thing. So defensive, I think the defense for the Lions are going to be good. But yeah, I want to see what they do. I don't know if Caleb Williams was complaining, but it's Caleb Williams. It wouldn't surprise me. It's a quarterback. Quarterbacks, these young quarterback these days, they're never happy about anything. So But yeah, it's still going to be interesting because I think the Bears defenses definitely has improved, and if they can get decent quarterback play from Caleb, where he's not turning the ball over, I think the Bears is another team to kind of keep a close eye on. I don't know about division leaders, but like I said, the South obviously I think the Atlanta Falcons are going to be that. Then you have the 49ers. I think the 49ers are still going to win theirs. I think the Packers probably end up coming out. And then you got I think the Giants are going to win, man. Like, for whatever, I just think the Giants defense is going to be so much more. They're going to continue to play what because last year the defense was pretty good. They just couldn't get anything offensively. So they improved their offense. So the Giants, man, is a team to keep an eye on. And then you got the Texans. Um, you got the Chiefs, obviously the Chiefs, the Ravens. Um, that's kind of tough. The AFC is tough for me. I don't know. Yeah, the AFC for me is real tough. So yeah, like I said before, man, did not expect to be on this long, but I appreciate everybody for joining me on this live show. Like I said, I'll continue to do more live shows like this. But the Bears on Hard Knocks here, so they're not doing anything. Yeah, everybody was like they wanted the Falcons to be on Hard Knocks. I didn't. That's just me. But like I said, man, I appreciate everybody for joining us. Stay tuned tonight for the end games on Atlanta Falcons Nation. My boy Rondrell, we're gonna be doing this thing. Check out his channel also at Therapist ATL 78. Yeah, y'all gonna like. We got some. We're gonna talk about the history of quarterbacks. So you guys stay tuned for that tonight. So all you people, football, NFL football fans, we're gonna be talking about quarterbacks, the history of quarterbacks. We're gonna talk about all of that. So, again, I appreciate it for joining me. I'm out here, baby. Deuces.